Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, gonna be a game between C and Shuttle here on Fighting Spirit for your Patreon cast of the week. If you're watching this the week of July the 10th, thank you very much for supporting me on patreon.com/FalconPaladin for at least $1 a month. I really do appreciate it. And if you're watching this in August, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. I have lots of Brood War content. I post stuff 5 times a week for Brood War. Top right, we have a red Protoss player. It is Shuttle, under his well-known and funny Smurf name, Eyewater, which is just tears. And in the top left, we have a purple Terran player. It is C, the Korean Terran, an excellent Terran player. His macro is great. He's super aggressive. He's very good at pressuring you super hard while macroing incredibly well back home. Is a great combination of micro on the front lines and macro on the back lines and defending at the same time. I really do expect him to give Shuttle give him a hard time here, right? Everything he can handle. That said, I think Shuttle is probably the better player, but once again, in these single game situations, whoever the better player is not necessarily who's going to win guaranteed 100% of the time, right? It's why we watch. Like, every match has someone who's favored on some level, even Bisu versus Flash. Like, sure, Flash is probably going to win, but, like, what are his odds of winning? 51%? Maybe 55% in that situation? It's just, being favored is no guarantee. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, nobody's proxying here in this PvT, which is super fun stuff. Gateway coming up. We got barracks here, too. Do have a quick gas. So probably not going for a fast expand. Probably going to go right for that factory and get those tanks and possibly vultures out to deal with early aggression here from Shuttle. Do we get a Cyber Core or do we get an expand? Feels like Cyber Core, but we don't know yet. We don't know yet. Okay, so gas. Yeah, so gas and then Cyber Core would be my assumption here. Scouting around, probe, cross spawn scouts first. Doesn't find anything, and the SCV scouts the correct direction, which is clockwise today. And is going to find the Protoss base and get a good indication of what's going on here. So the SCV shows up, but like, we don't know where it came from, right? I guess we can tell it came from the left side based on that angle it entered. So yeah, if I'm the Zealot, I'm going top left based on that SCV trajectory, and there's the Cyber Core. Alright, cool. So yeah, no regrets for going for this factory. For C, just going to make sure he's got, enough defense to deal with early Dragoon pressure, and then he's going to expand. Yeah, this Marine is like, is there anything coming? Is there a Zealot on the way? He knows there's a Zealot because the SCV saw it. So he's very ready for it. Yeah, his reaction time was perfect there. So the Zealot is going to be annoying, right? This is an exercise in Marine micro against Zealots. This is something that every Terran player is good at doing. That's really well done there. Zealot, almost all of its shields are gone, and you just want to avoid taking shots here. The Marines are a tiny bit faster, but not immensely so. 3 Marines. Ooh, he took a shot. Took another shot. Okay, losing a Marine there. Unnecessary. Oh, 2 Marines. That probe gets a kill? Boss probe, man. Absolutely boss probe getting a kill. That was great. That was unnecessary. Those deaths were not necessarily... Keep saying that word. Those guys didn't need to die, is what I'm trying to say here. Alright, well, machine shop on a factory. Another Zealot is here. I didn't see him on the minimap. Cool. Well, he's got to run. As there are 3 Marines here. They're very annoyed. And trying to expand is Shuttle. SCV scouting around. It takes, like, what, 6 or 7 shots for a Dragoon to kill an SCV. And again, perfect micro on this Dragoon to try to get him. He sees the expansion timing. Says, alright, I have a choice. Okay, I'm going to expand. I can either expand or make another barracks, a bunch of Marines, bring some siege tanks, and wipe out this base. We've seen that done on the channel fairly recently. At least within the last month, or maybe the last week, depending on when you're watching this thing. Again, it's a Patreon cast. But yeah, thanks to everybody who supports me out there. I really do appreciate it. It's been really useful over the last couple of years to have that income, so I'm just grateful for it. Anyway, we got some Marines and tanks out in case some Dragoons and Zealots want to show up and cause some problems. Honestly, a bunker might not be a terrible idea here from C, but he's not doing that, not using the resources on it. 2 gates up, Cyber Core, Singularity Charge. This is going to be some Dragoon pressure. I would be shocked if these guys didn't move out at some point, although if they're worried about a one-base attack coming in, staying at home is not a bad idea either. But he decides to move out about the same time that C moves out here as well. So SCV comes in, says, oh, well, I guess I don't get any information. He was trying to see maybe if this got canceled. It was not, but the SCV doesn't know that, so that's not some useful information. Second factory on the way. We are working on the spider mines, which is a great way to slow down these attacks from the Protoss until they have detection available, which we are not working on. No robotic facility on the way for that. Alright, vultures on the way. Natural base landing from C. A little bit late, but again, the Protoss has to out-expand the Terran to beat them generally, although, I don't know. Shuttle kind of feels like someone who can beat a Terran on even base count anyway. He's just that good. He's just that good, and he loves shuttles, obviously, because his name is Shuttle. So I would, I'd probably bet $5 we're going to see some Shuttle play in this game, right? Some Reavers, maybe a Storm Drop would be cool. I mean, at the very least, Zealot bombs on top of the tanks, that sort of thing. So traditional attack coming in, trying to get into the middle of the action, throw down some spider mines, and either force the Dragoons to fight the spider mines. Yeah, that was gorgeous. That actually didn't go well for C at all. Alright, well, SCV dead. Dragoons pretty fat and happy. Spider mine's getting laid, just the Dragoons can't really chase there. Ooh, 2 Dragoons down, and oop, that was a hit. That did get hit on that Dragoon, even though they killed it. Or I guess shot at it. They didn't kill it before it fired, so... Anyway, there's a robotic facility coming in. Yeah, just run. Spider mines, until they have detection available, are just, they're not worth engaging into by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, you can with some insanely good micro, right? Siege mode's done, by the way. We've seen it. We've seen Bisu do this sort of thing before. But it's not easy. It's not easy to pull off, even if you're someone of the caliber of Shuttle. Third base, gonna warp in about 7 minutes. And what do we got up for here? Yeah, just that robotics facility I mentioned from the production tab earlier. Engineering bay running out. Machine shop working on speed upgrade for vultures. These are the upgrades that are just required. Alright, spider mines and speed for vultures. Siege mode for tanks. Charon mode, or Charon boost rather, for Goliaths. Those are the upgrades you need. And then just vehicle, attack, and armor upgrades. And that's pretty much... You're good to go with those upgrades as your baseline. Alright, so, I'm guessing just observatory. Yeah, there we go. Wait, jeez, does it build that fast? Yeah, it's only 250 HP. I always forget how quickly the observatory builds. It builds like as fast as a cannon does. So there you go. So immediate observer production begins because spider mines are out here somewhere. We don't know where they are. Bait. The vultures are like, come kill us. We're very squishy. You can kill us very easily. That's not how they sound. Yeah, come get some. That's what they would say to Dragoons if they had that voice line in the game, which they don't. I feel like they should, though. Anyway, third command center on the way from C. Getting an academy, largely for ComSat purposes. And where's your third fac is the question of the day. You there. Build a third factory. I command you. There it is. And a fourth? Yeah, third and fourth factories coming in at 8.5 minutes. The Protoss at 3 bases. Observer out. Dragoons do have the singularity charge upgrade. They've had it for some time. And now we can start clearing out some of these spider mines. Or, whatever, take some hits because the observer's up here. Instead of, whatever. Vultures, ooh. Nope. That vulture paid for that with his life. Observer says, is there a third base here? There's not, but it looks like we're setting up for it. So do we want to try to shut that down? Well, there's siege tanks on the high ground in a pretty good position to where Dragoons can't hit them at all. We are tossing up a supply depot to wall off Dragoons getting up this ramp in general, which they're not good at doing regardless. We are, man, Templar Archives and the Stargate coming in fast Arbiter here. I mean, not fast, pretty standard, but not required, right? We do see some Protoss wait a while before getting those Arbiters, but I guess more often than not, we do end up seeing that come in fairly quickly. Alright indeed. Got a constitution. Got a +1 attack coming up vehicle. Got a starport for science vessels. Everything is fine. Are we building shuttles? We are building a shuttle. Hey. Told ya so. Arbiter Tribunal. 9:49. Warping in right on the schedule. And we're just gonna, I guess, Zealot bomb. Right. Just shuttles here for very basic purposes. Nothing too crazy right now. Excellent. Yeah, 4th base. Once again, Protoss, the goal here is to expand a bunch. The Terran, it's going to be hard for them to move out until they have a good number of siege tanks. And by good, I mean, man, at least like 15 to bring out with them, not counting the ones that are back home defending. So, it's a while. It's really just going to be Vulture Harass that's going to stop. Oh, this is gorgeous too. 5th base, right side, bottom right. So yeah, just all you have to really defend against are Vultures for the first, 15 minutes of the game, 20 minutes of the game if it's really, really macro style. Which, your Terran opponent got 3 bases and then they're 10 minutes. It's a pretty macro style match. Not going to try to mislead you here. Arbiter's on the way. I mean, the good news for the Protoss is it lets them do whatever they want. I am concerned, I am really concerned that Shuttle hasn't killed any tanks yet. You really need to be killing siege tanks if you're gonna defeat a Terran. Past that 15-20 minute mark. So we'll see. Oh, he's making a dropship instead of a science vessel right away. I guess he doesn't have a science facility first, so there we go. Now he can build them. Stasis on the way, faster observer movement coming in, just allows them to escape danger a little bit more quickly. And yeah, like I said, Vulture's making the rounds, trying to see if they can get any information up, and I love this. Like, a lot of Protoss will expand down here and only have maybe 1 cannon defending all these probes, or skimp and not have any cannons at all. But I love this. 4 Dragoons forming a wall and a cannon behind it. That's going to take a lot of Vulture pressure to get through this, and this is covering these very 2 important bases on the bottom right. That said, I feel like these guys are setting up for a drop. If we get a drop ship down here and then lifted and snuck on in, I think that'd be pretty good. But dropship is here. Trying to find an angle to drop, but no, did not work out. See, Dragoon protecting, Dragoon protecting. Yeah, I mean, this is honestly some really, really good defensive Protoss that we're setting up seeing right now. Terran boosters on the way, EMP coming in, extremely important upgrade against them Protoss, knocking all their shields down. Just gotta watch out for the Goliath sniping you from distance, though. They will burn you down pretty quickly if you let them. So Shuttle, I think, has been sitting here since it was created, 2 minutes ago. I don't know what he's up to. It's fine. Nothing crazy at all. I don't know about this attack. Like, the first siege tank hit is going to be, there you go, a back off signal, which Shuttle will accept quite nicely. Observer says, do we have bases in the bottom left here? The answer is no. Still just 3 base Terran in it, which, again, traditional stuff here. Out of C. He's down about 30 supply, but he's feeling pretty good, right? He's got +1 attack for his tanks. He's working on +2. Shuttle, on the other hand, has the +1 for his gateway units and working on the +2 for said gateway units. Got a couple arbiters out. Yeah, here's the one. I mean, there's a turret here, so like the cloak's not serving you at all. It's 0% help here on that. That's why there are turrets right here at all, right? That's why there's a turret here. That's why there are a couple turrets back here. He's preparing for arbiter recalls. There's one back here too. 2 back here too. So getting a recall off is going to be hard. Not that recall has been researched or anything. Oh, he did drop in here. So there we go. Dropped in a siege tank and a couple of vultures. That tank ended up getting maybe 1 kill. This vulture is going to get maybe a couple kills here as well. By that I mean exactly 2. Oh yeah, fine. That was a fine little attack, but man, Shuttle's maxed out in 14 minutes. He's looking big, he's looking strong, but once again, the recipe is kill siege tanks early and often, and he hasn't done that today. There are so many siege tanks sitting here. Yeah, I worry for Shuttle. 175 supply of siege tanks from the Terran. That +2 attack you're going to finish up any time now, which is just... Man, +2 and +3 are such good upgrades for the siege tanks. They increase the damage output immensely when it comes down to it. So yeah, there it is. 70 plus 10. 80 damage. Splash. These poor Dragoons just don't know what hit them. Bonus damage there too. So it looks like maybe the Terran trying to set up this bottom left a little bit, or maybe trying to prevent Shuttle from taking it, but man, that seems Real dicey. It is High Templar in the shuttle. I called that. Called it. Well, I mean, I listed all of the potential reasons he could be using shuttles. That was one of them. Falcon, big brain. Look at the big brain on Falcon. I don't know. Shuttle's being real cautious, and I don't like it, but a shuttle is an elite, insanely, like, top 5 all-time Protoss player. So, for me to tell him, come on, man, play it right, it doesn't feel right to me. But everything that's in my head is screaming, saying, why not? Why didn't we cut this tank count down before it got up to what it is right now? Beautiful storm. Alright, that's fine. Keeping the High Templar inside the shuttle keeps them from tank fire. At least some of the time. It can be hard to avoid getting that splash in your face. Good. Okay. So half the recipe is out-expand your Terran opponent, right? So we got that. But the part of keeping the tank count below 20 is not going great. Oh, 2 snipes on those High Templar. Beautiful vulture control there from C. And he's maxed out. He's effectively maxed out. I know he's not at 200, but he's there. He is. Oh, this bottom left base, though. Woo! Shuttle trying to sneak this one in. If Shuttle wins this, it's solely going to be because he is going to lose his main, right? To be able to rebuild from his home away from home. We haven't had one of these games in a while where the Protoss is just, like, kind of concedes their main base entirely. It knows it takes the Terran a while to crush it, but it will die. And then just sets up, again, the summer home, rebuilds over that way, and wins the game by rebuilding the army a couple times, right? Especially with this base, The income here, the bank, is just substantially heavier for Shuttle right now. 3,600 minerals, 1,700 gas, 1,700 minerals, and 200 gas for C. I mean, these guys, they can't engage with this. It's too much. Oh, free High Templar is bad. Okay, not necessarily free. They got a couple of storms off, but they're dead now. What are you doing? Are you trying to come over here? Because this doesn't seem all that inviting. Potentially, this one vulture scouted this and said, oh, okay, you have this. Fine, I guess. Yeah, but there is very little defending this base. C is, he's playing the part. He's playing the part of the big, scary Terran, the big bad wolf, coming to blow down the Protoss house with a bunch of tanks that the Protoss can't adequately deal with. And yeah, I mean, you're watching this, and, you know, if you're a little bit unfamiliar with Brood War, you might say, well, okay, the Protoss is dead. He's losing his main base. Doesn't seem like there's really much by way of, you know, avenues to defend this, and there's not. But I will tell you that definitely a whole bunch of Protoss have won from this position anyway. They plan for losing their natural base. It's like animals in nature. They plan for winter, right? They absolutely. Ooh, those 3 tanks died though. That was pretty good. They plan for there to be a lack of food, and then they survive the winter, and it sucks, but they're alive, right? So that's Protoss. They plan for the death of their main in certain circumstances, set up home away from home, and it sucks, but they can engage anyway. Dude, this probe death, though. Ow. Ow. It was like at 70-something probes, and they're just nowhere for them to go. I don't know if we even researched recall. Oh, this is a beautiful setup, though. Oh, going after this 3rd base of Shuttle is C. That Arbiter comes in, gets EMP'd, and gets blown out of the sky. Okay. Yeah, this is why Shuttle has this. This is why Shuttle has this coming in. This is why he has the bottle left in the bottom right. Is because he didn't do enough in the early stages of the game to whittle down this tank count. I'm honestly surprised he's not... Oh, and we're transitioning into carriers. Oh, he's just building carriers right here. Just in his fairly doomed main. Okay, so that base dies, this base dies. He's actually not concerned about coming in here because this isn't a source of income, I think. Oh, this spider minefield. It's not going to kill anything, but it will delay the attack and will alert C that there's something coming. Spider mines can fulfill that role. Even if they're not killing anything, they are fantastic early warning systems and fantastic slowing downs of the enemy Protoss here. These SCVs, I think, are just clearing supply. I honestly don't know why else they'd be wandering down this way. Alright, so now, okay, this is C not understanding it's a carrier transition. He's not building any Goliaths at all at the moment. Yeah, I think we're freeing up supply because he is maxed out to make more tanks. So do we have enough? Oh, this is genius. He's like, I'm just gonna see this with spider mines. You want to come down this ramp with High Templar and like Zealots? Be our guest. Be our guest. Be our guest. Put our service to the test. Focus. Ah, the shuttle goes down, but the storms are really good anyway. Okay. So C's just like, I don't want to kill this main base. It's dead anyway. Let's come down and kill some of the newer sources of income for the Protoss. I really, really respect this move out of C. It's like he knows how important this is to Shuttle. Shuttle has not directly engaged with his Terran army at all today. Not one time has he directly engaged with it. Insane. It is such a passive game from Shuttle. Can he win that way? Oh, the vultures are like, all right, probe count, knock that down. That'll be pretty good. All right, so 6 o'clock base dies. Shuttle's just sharking around, trying to find angles where he can, you know, get stuff done. Look at who took the middle. C took the middle base. Once again, that is a sign that either you're super behind or you're super ahead. Nobody takes this just as a matter of course in a regular PvT or regular game of any combination. It's just standard games, this doesn't happen. This is I feel really confident, I got this thing, let's do it. Or I feel scared, let's take it and risk it. I think this is C saying he's got it. And I don't know that I'm here to tell him he's wrong about that. Look at Shuttle, he's not engaging. He's just, he's not doing the traditional Protoss thing of wandering, you know, 15 Protoss units into the siege tanks and they all die, which I can't blame him for not doing that. But at the same time, it just seems like sometimes you gotta do it. Sometimes you gotta make those trades, even if it hurts, you know? EMP. Yeah, alright, so now we're Archons, which not exactly really a unit you ever see against Terran because, well, EMP exists. He is, okay, so coming up into the middle here, siege tanks trying to defend the center base. They're gonna do it. A lot of SCVs are in danger, but they got pulled out of the way there. High Templar with not enough energy for anything, and now the tanks are up here, and there are some zealots being made out of these gateways, but the tanks aren't sieging because they're not dumb, right? They can actually kill zealots more easily if they're unsieged than if they're sieged. It's kind of working. This feels like a stasis if I've ever seen one. Oh, a recall into this position, and then storming the ever-loving crap out of these tanks. Oh, that's a good move. That was a great move. And then these Dragoons came through and wiped it out. Okay, so we hung on to the bottom left base. That's fantastic. That's really, really great stuff. Also, the bottom right base is alive, as well as the natural, but holding on to the center by C is kind of a kickbot move right now. Man, that was so cool. Recalling in those High Templar and storming all those tanks. C tried to split him as well as he could. It did not work out all that well. Science Vessel gets sniped. It looks like C wants to take this 9 o'clock position, but it's going to be difficult. Oh, the stasis on the ramp, so these guys can't get up and save this command center. Such a clutch move. The stasis the units on the ramp play so that units can't come up the ramp is a good one. It's really nice, but oh, C, surprise attack bottom right. Oh, this is when you start panic making zealots. Or I guess High Templar down here. I don't agree with that move necessarily. Because, yeah, the High Templar are going to pop. They're not going to have enough energy. But here comes... It's a carrier group. It's not a million carriers, right? It is 9. Is that enough? My gosh. An EMP. on that carrier ball would be insanely good. Science vessel, maybe don't just hang out in this general area. Yeah, 6 Goliaths at a time under construction. Left side, Zealot attack coming in. By golly, wipes out this army too. Suddenly sees down 164 supply. The center base, he's really relying on that right now for income. Shuttle still has the bottom right and the bottom left for income, but this middle, does this count for 2 bases? I kind of feel like it does. That said, Shuttle's bank, once again, 4,700 minerals, 3,800 gas. He's finding engagements at this point, right? He's finding units he wants to engage with and kill. Some beautiful storms, but I think all these zealots are probably... Oh, the storms, though. Man, I was going to say the zealots are in trouble there, but my goodness, this storming from Shuttle has been insanely, insanely good. Do we have enough Nope, we don't have enough anti-air to save the center base. Dude, Shuttle, are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? Does he hid the carriers for long enough to launch a surprise attack in the bottom right? Surprise attack to the middle? All C can really do is kind of flail around a bit and try to wipe out this bottom left-hand base. Send his Goliaths in to get big-time shots off onto the now retreating carriers because the base is dead. The SCVs have been wiped out. There are still 51 SCVs to 56 probes. Man, I mean, 3-3 Goliaths are pretty tanky boys, even against Zealots, which are pretty tanky boys in and of themselves. I mean, look at... Yeah, Zealot down, Zealot down, Zealot down, Zealot down, Zealot down. Right, Goliaths, great answer against both carriers and against Zealots. So not a bad thing here. But here comes a really nice Dragoon Zealot carrier High Templar army. C's just been kind of squeezed in here for the second time today. He's gotten up this ramp and he GG's out, and Shuttle is your winner in about 26 minutes. Wow. Wow. Shuttle, you dog. You absolute beast. What an absolutely insanely good PvT. That, that was so good. All right. I don't even... This is Shuttle, man. If you clicked on this because you're a Shuttle fan, you're happy. This is what Shuttle does. He says, I don't really have to engage with your giant army ever. I'm going to let you take my natural base. I'm going to make it so you're scared to take my main, right? I'm going to expand 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to expand 7 times. I'm going to build, a bunch of gateways at each one. I'm going to build a carrier army in secret. And when you split your army up in different areas, I'm going to wipe them out. If you send a huge heavy tank, heavy composition to the bottom right, the carriers will deal with them. If you send a small group of tanks and a bunch of Goliaths over this way, my Dragoon Zealot army will deal with them. And then same thing, Goliaths coming to the bottom left, whatever. The carriers, Dragoons, Zealots, they will wipe those out as well. He just so patiently waited and prodded and found the compositions and found the attacks that he wanted to do and engaged and won. And won. Won with it. This is Shuttle. I mean, again, top 5 Protoss of all time. If not, what, second best behind Bisu? I don't know. What are the rankings on this stuff? Amazing. And C had a great game, right? Maybe he scouted the carrier transition too late. And I think that was maybe his fatal flaw. The storms are also insane. I forgot to mention that. All right, so 223,000 points for Shuttle, 183 for C. Out-constructed the Terran, but again, that's fairly normal. Buildings raised is not how you win the game. And end of the day here, the resources, just the number of bases that Shuttle had, it makes all the sense in the world. These are the numbers that we're looking at. All of the sense in the entire world. So that was absolutely amazing. Shuttle was such a boss. And all right, that right there is gonna be it for me today. Alright, so this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered and a Patreon cast. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. If you like what you saw and what you heard today, you can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourself.